What the hell is going on? It's your boy, Mario Caballero, aka Puro Caballero, in the place to be. As always, this is the Puro Caballero Show, episode 119, coming to you live on Twitch. It is Thursday, October 6th. We are now officially in spooky season. Hope you guys are celebrating correctly and properly. Yeah, a lot of shit to talk about on this episode here tonight. Man, a lot of craziness. We're going to get into catch up on some baseball news, everything that's been going on there. A lot of wild news stories going on in the world. I've been catching up recently on that. I will be filling you in on my thoughts. But first, I definitely got to talk about this ridiculous ass Thursday night football game that I just witnessed tonight. Holy shit. How the fuck did the Denver Broncos manage to pull a defeat out of victory versus Indianapolis Colts? They continue to struggle in the red zone, to continue to struggle with untimely turnovers, and they failed to score a touchdown. Dude, both teams did, to be honest with you. It was ugly from the get-go, man. Starting off, Jonathan Taylor not playing for the Colts. He is the best player. He would have been the best player in the game if he would have played, even being injured. So he's not out there. Let's see. The Colts had Nyheim Hines, who got knocked out after like the second play of the game with the concussion issue. He came up stumbling like Tua did the week before, or 2 weeks before, when they played the Bills. So it was not a good sight to see. So hope all is well for you, Nyheim. Hope you have a speedy recovery. Colts offensive linemen were all banged up. They had their left tackle moved to right tackle. They had a rookie in at left tackle. They were missing their, I guess, right guard. Yeah, they still had Quentin Nelson and Kelly. But freaking their center went out in the middle of the game, so he got injured. So they rotated another guy in there, and they were moving guys around. And I don't know if anybody's ever played offensive line, but that shit is difficult to pick up. So the Broncos were just making plays on Matt Ryan, who can't move as well. He's an older, immobile quarterback. So it was just sack city for the Denver defense for a second. But oh my God. So yeah, it was just like a war of attrition out there for a second, because like both teams had dudes who were coming in and out of the game. I think the Broncos lost a couple DBs and a linebacker, and like, yeah, they lost. It looked like Bowles, the left tackle. It looks like he might have had a serious injury. So that was unfortunate news for that team. But like, goddamn, they're losing everybody left and right as well. They had an injury, I think, to Jerry Jeudy late in the ball game, which brought them in like their third or fourth wide receiver. Oh yeah, not to mention Russell Wilson. Looked like he suffered a head injury in the third quarter after he threw like a ridiculous interception. Like, I don't know what he was thinking there. It looked like he was concussed before the game started compared to how he was throwing the ball. But yeah, I don't know. Apparently he was dealing with a shoulder injury, they mentioned on the broadcast before, but like, damn, he looked like shit. The crowd was booing him like the whole second half. As a Raider fan, it was very beautiful to watch. I was like enjoying this. I'm not gonna lie if I didn't say I took satisfaction in seeing the fan base turn on them, because like, damn, their team is down bad when they got to do that, man. What'd they give them? How much guaranteed money? They give them like 150, 180 million dollars, something like that. I gotta look up this number, because it is 230 million. What was it? Russell Wilson contract. Let's see. $245 million. Yo! What the fuck? Yo! 5 years, 245, bro. Oh my God. Yo, I understand the situation isn't the best for him. He doesn't have a starting running back on his team right now. But like, even before then, it wasn't looking so hot. And it was not necessarily like things that you would attribute to being like, okay, maybe he's not used to his receivers or whatnot. Like, it was bad today. He missed on the last play of the game. He missed a wide open KJ Hamler on the right side running a rub route. He came open it's a quick hitter, but he was like not even scanning the field. He was staring down Cortland Sutton, and he threw it over the middle of the field, and it was incomplete, which he was trying to do a couple drives earlier before the game ended. It was 9-6 Denver, so they could have kicked the field goal. I think it was fourth down play. Excuse me. He could have kicked the field goal and gone up by 6, which it's not a guarantee, but the Colts were playing horrible also. So it's hey, maybe it's not the worst decision. They decide to throw the ball on fourth down, and he throws it over the middle into the end zone, and Stephon Gilmore steps in front of the pass and picks it off, and Colts get another chance. They come down, kick a field goal, send it overtime, and then they eventually win the game because they kick a field goal, and then Broncos can't figure it out at the end. But yeah, KJ Hamler went off. He was so pissed. He threw his helmet on the ground. He spiked it. And he was yelling and all emotional. What the fuck? Come on. What the fuck? Oh, shit. People roasting Russ like crazy. The memes are blowing up already. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Broncos Country is not riding right now. A little too dangerous there, Russell Wilson. What are you doing, man? I'm not I'm not gonna lie if I say I didn't feel happy watching this new complete meltdown. I don't think anybody else in the country enjoyed watching this craptastic football game more than I did. I was grinning ear to ear oh man, it was pretty disgusting to watch. I think there was 15 punts in the game, something ridiculous. What is it? 7 field goals. First to 7, best out of 7 field goals. Oh shit. God damn, it's ridiculous. Yeah, dude, the fans were booing them before, the end of the game, throughout the second half, of bunch of bad decisions that were being made, and a bunch of opportunities they were squandering, and yeah, they're doing the crowd shots of people just thumbs down in the team and their performance. Oh my god, that was ridiculous. They were, man, fucking insane. People were leaving the stadium before the end of the fourth quarter, right before it was going to overtime. They knew that the game wasn't over, and they willingly decided to leave. They were I've seen enough of this bullshit. Oh man. And by the end of the game, when they fucked up again on another drive and couldn't get a score, and instead of kicking the field goal to tie it, it was 4 minutes of overtime, under 4 minutes of overtime left. Instead of kicking the field goal to try to tie it and stop them again, they were fuck it, we're just going to go for it. He went for it, and he missed that pass that I described earlier that KJ Hamler was pissed about. And holy shit. I thought we were going to hear the Boo Birds again. I was waiting for it. I was literally sitting on this couch watching the TV going where are the birds at? Come on, bring them out. Where's the boos? Where's the boos? And I couldn't hear any, because then I looked up in the stands and I realized hardly anybody was still in them bitches. they were oh man, yeah. Broncos fan might boycott this team. It's being bad news, man. I think they got enough money to throw at the problem if they really just want to eat their contract and just move on. Because it is the Walton Penner family is ridiculously loaded, astronomically more loaded than the second richest owner in the NFL, and it is not even close. So they bought the team for $4.65 billion. That's fucking ridiculous. That is so crazy. Oh man. So yeah, I guess they could eat 5 years, $245 million to your quarterback for bringing somebody else. I guess I don't know if that's the solution for them. But it might be. As yeah, dude, I thought Russ. I didn't think he was gonna finish the game. I thought they were gonna bring the backup in because, as I mentioned before, in the third quarter, I think it was, or like early fourth quarter. Russ drops back on a pass play, gets pressured, throws it over the middle, and like not even close to a wide receiver. And he was missing all day with his wideouts. There was a play that was like one of those like free plays where it's like what happened? They called like a penalty or something on the defense, and they like shut the play down. It was one of those, I don't know, I can't remember what it was, but like the tight end kept running his route and Russ like threw it to him, and he overthrew him so far down the sideline. The tight end was like diving to try to get it and couldn't. It was like way out of frame. I was like, holy shit, dude, Russ is like off. So, but yeah, maybe he just didn't have enough time to recover from the shoulder injury. I don't know. But like, damn, he looked bad today. And I think the stat was this is the first time ever there's been 2 quarterbacks who've had 4+ Pro Bowl appearances, or and failed to throw a touchdown in the game. 7 field goals, man. Oh, dude, yeah, you're a fan of special teams. You saw a lot of it tonight, so there you go. Shit. This game was ridiculous, man. I don't want to talk about this. I'm just talking about this game for like 10 minutes straight, but like, god damn, bro. Like, Denver fans got to be pretty disappointed. Like, even the fact that they're 2-3 now. They were 2-2 coming into the game. Like, it's not the worst record, but like, there's a lot of hype coming their way. So ridiculous. Yeah, it was. Oh, man, both teams were like the walking wounded by the end of the game. It was kind of ridiculous to see, but yeah, Russ. I thought he got knocked out. He threw that interception, and he was like still in the play, like trying to make the tackle because the DB who picked him off like made it past like a couple people downfield. And so he was like towards the middle of the field and was near the play, and a linebacker came up and just like smacked him on the block and hit him in the helmet, and he like hit on the ground, and it looked like it could have been pretty damaging. I don't know. It's these NFL players, they're trained to take hits and stuff like that, or they've taken hits a lot across their career, but like, you know, there's a lot of pressure and tension on the NFL right now, considering what happened last week, which we'll get into a little bit later. But like, god damn, man, like, so they put him in the medical tent, and he's sitting in there, and Colts happen to be driving for like not a super long time, but like enough time where they do the evaluation, they release him from the tent, and then they let him go back into the game. So like the backup quarterback didn't even need to like take any snaps and play the game. But Russ went back in there and still looked like shit. So like you can't necessarily say that that was the reason why he played so bad down the stretch. But like, damn, man, like it was ugly, bro. It was ugly. Melvin Gordon still fumbling the ball all over the place. Matt Ryan fumbling the ball. They got lucky some of their teammates were there. There was a lot of wide receivers and linemen diving on loose balls that are on the ground tonight. Like it was sloppy, man. There was a ton of penalties, a lot of holding calls, a lot of false starts, offside call. Dude, it was it was disgusting, man, but I loved it. I fucking enjoyed this shit. And yeah, go Raiders. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where my bias is. So you already know. Fucking ridiculous, man. Oh shit. But yeah, this is a start of week 5. We can rewind a little bit because we didn't get a chance to recap week 4 necessarily. A lot of crazy action as always. It's NFL. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of storylines. So we get right into it. The biggest one I gotta say happens to be the game that happened last Thursday night between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals, which resulted in quarterback Tua Tagovailoa sustaining yet another hip injury. It was 4 days after he had been shaken up and knocked out of the game briefly against Buffalo, which so a lot of people questioned at the time. They're like, hey, man, like, what's going on? But even more people question it in the context of him getting the second hit where he kind of got like picked up and like dumped on his head, like through the tackle kind of thing. It's football, things like that happen from time to time, but like the whole medical staff that has like cleared him to play has been questioned. I know the independent neurotrauma consultant doctor that the NFL hires has been fired, the one who made the decision that he was good to play in, I think, the first game. I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know. Maybe to start the game on Thursday, because they review the tape sometimes and will tell people like, hey, you shouldn't play. But yeah, it's interesting turn of events there. Obviously, we wish nothing but good health to Tua. I know he's probably going through a lot. It was a very scary play because he had, what is it called? Fencing response, I guess is my notes say, or decortical posturing, 2 brain responses to trauma, because he hit on the back of his helmet on the turf, and so his arms were like flailed up, but his fingers were looking all like he was like legit, like looked like he was throwing up like some gang signs, or they got mangled or something. At like first, I thought I saw on the replay that he hit his helmet and that he maybe had dislocated some fingers. So like when I first saw it, I was like, oh shit, did he fuck up his hand that way or something? But then you see the replay and you realize it's a response from him hitting his head just turf, and his hands come up and you're like, oh damn, and it got scary, man, for that second, man. So it was, that shit was intense. That was the big takeaway from that game, was just like, god damn, man, you gotta be careful when you're out there, man. You gotta take everything, can't take anything for granted, and it is yeah, I mean, pretty real deal Holyfield shit out there on the football field, man. Like it's got to be a big emphasis on player safety, obviously, from the NFL moving forward. So I would assume every instance that is kind of borderline or in a gray area is you're gonna be going on the side of caution. But then again, I don't know. I guess it's gonna be case by case basis. Like tonight, I would have assumed Russ wouldn't have just came back in, even if it like didn't necessarily seem like the biggest hit. He did take a contact to the helmet and hit the turf. So that's not anything. He was a little slow to get up, but not like super like wobbly, I guess. It just took him a second, which, I mean, just naturally off of any hit, it's definitely gonna do. So, but yeah, we're wishing nothing but the best for Tua. I know he got released from the hospital and he's entering the concussion protocol. Yeah, they fired their neurotrauma consultant from the game. He did fly back with the team, which I think some people were not necessarily all the way supportive of. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to withhold judgment there. But yeah, from what I heard, anytime you have like a brain injury, you don't necessarily want to be flying, changing altitudes, because I think there could be some potential swelling there. But I guess they had gotten everything under control. I don't know. So, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. If you're a doctor, type of way, let me know how bad I am and how I should not be giving medical advice on podcasts. Who am I, fucking Joe Rogan over here? Like, god damn it. I'm not promoting ivermectin, but if you want to take it, go for it, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. We're giving out heroin needles in places, bro. Like, why not? Fuck it. What's the worst thing to happen? Medical malpractice? Not like it's already happening already. Oh man! Shout out the Sackler family. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, NFL Week 4. Speaking of opioids, some of these players are going to definitely need some painkillers moving forward. There was a lot of injuries sustained Week 4. As I mentioned, Javonte Williams, he had a ACL tear. It looks like he's going to be missing probably a year, maybe upwards of that, maybe 12 to 13 months or so, 14, who knows? Because it was his ACL and LCL, I want to say. that he will be recovering from. So yeah, that's tough. Also, Randy Gregory was placed on IR with a knee injury. He's gonna miss a minimum of 4 games, and that came from the games with the Raiders, which the Raiders finally won. I finally got to celebrate on a Sunday. That was nice. That was nice to have after a very disappointing 0-3 start. Y'all heard me here ramble on the last episode about how the season was over. So I'm just looking for the little small things. As always, as a Raider fan, I just want the team to go 500. And since they changed the schedule, that doesn't allow that shit. So hopefully they can get right above it. So, or right close, because I don't fucking, I can't be too picky at this point. The team fucking already kind of set the tone with a lot of disappointing play to start the year. So, I mean, if things turn around, great, but I don't necessarily have the highest expectations at the moment for them. But beating the Broncos is always sweet, as I mentioned. Oh my God, that was great to see. Team that thought they had some playoff aspirations, it didn't look so hot. Mike Boone, shout out, thank you for the drops that ended the game against the Raiders. Yeah, Russ looked better against Vegas, but like, I don't know what to make of it. The Raiders finally did run the ball pretty well. Shout out Josh Jacobs. He had like a career day. I think he had like 140 yards or something like that, something crazy. So he did very well. Controlling the clock, holding on to the football. Devontae scored again. So Devontae's on a nice little streak of games getting into the end zone. Trying to think what else happened in that football game. It's been a few days now. The Raiders won. That's what really matters. Let's see what else happened here. Should we dive deep into the stat line? Yeah, 32-23 final. Carlson was hitting a bunch of field goals this year. He missed a PAT though. That was really I was holding my breath. I was like, damn, this better not come back to haunt them. Yeah, 28 rushes for 144 yards, 2 touchdowns for Josh Jacobs. What up? Carr only threw for 188. Yeah, that's gotta change. Devontae had 101. He had 9 and 101. He didn't get a touch. Did have 1 rush for 4 yards as well. Yeah. The run game, baby. The run game. They also got a fumble 6, I guess, from Amik Robertson. From a fumble that happened from Melvin Gordon. So thank you, Melvin, for putting the ball on the ground. And Amik did the rest, I guess, there. So that's all you need. There was a London game, New Orleans and Minnesota. There was a lot of field goals right at the end of the game. So I know a lot of people were on pins and needles early in the morning drinking coffee over here in the U.S., especially my roommate who's a Vikings fan who's watching that shit. And it resulted in like a 61-yard field goal attempt to win it from the Saints, which ended up hitting the upright and then the crossbar and then bouncing and then going back into the field of play. No good. So it was pretty crazy. It was this close to getting over. Somebody would have like put a leaf blower on the football as it bounced over off the crossbar. It would have gone over for a good field goal, but it bounced back, and that was kind of cruel there. So, yeah, New Orleans, they take that L. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah. The New York Giants, they survived after losing 2 quarterbacks, man. That was kind of crazy. Saquon Barkley was taking shots. Not shots. He might be taking shots after the game, but like during the game, he was taking snaps from the Wildcat formation because Daniel Jones is a normal quarterback. He's they got him running around like crazy, so he was moving, but he had an ankle injury, so he couldn't move no more. So they took him out and they brought Tyrod Taylor in. And Taylor was running the offense for maybe like 2 or 3 drives, and then he gets knocked out. He suffers a head injury, and so yeah, they didn't have very much else to do. So it was like the 4th quarter by this point. What they ended up doing is they brought Daniel Jones in so he can get the play calls from the helmet, say the play call to the team so they know what they're doing. Then they'd have Saquon in the Wildcat, and he would just take the snap and just run read option basically the rest of the game. And it worked. They got the victory, man. So it's shout out to the Giants getting it done any means necessary. It was against the Chicago Bears, so maybe some people would be like, all right, maybe not so impressive because the Bears have struggled a bit and time to time, especially on offense, throwing the ball. But yeah, Giants, they're like, we'll one up you, we'll still beat you. So what up? Giants 3-1 to start the year. All right, not too bad. Let's see here. What else? Oh, yeah. Bills had a nice comeback against the Ravens. Down 2 touchdowns to start the game. They down 20 points throughout. They ended up coming back and getting that victory. Another disappointing end of the game for Baltimore, I would say. They should have wrapped up a couple more victories. The one against Miami comes to mind. They were up, 3 scores in that one. And same thing here. I think they were up 20-0 in the first half, and they got a stop on 4th down, and then they kicked the ball to win it 23-20. So yeah, Buffalo, credit to them, man. They're a team that is definitely still, I think, the favorite to win it all, but super talented, even though they were missing a bunch of guys. I mean, that's kind of, that's kind of the state of the NFL, man. You're always going to be missing fools. So next man up. It's kind of what it is. It is what it is. Sucks, but it is what it is. Let's see what else. What other scores do we have? Houston Texans losing to the Chargers 24-34. They were in that game for a minute, but yeah. Looks like Herbert getting a little healthy. So Chargers might be on the up and up. I know Eckler played well in that game, so Keenan Allen, I know they need, so see what happens. We had the Seahawks-Lions game. Oh, my God, 48-45. That is first time that score has ever happened in NFL history, but it is the highest scoring game in the NFL so far this season. Apparently, the Lions have, the number 1 offense, and they have the 32nd defense so far this year. So anytime they play with somebody, they're going to be going up and down the field, presumably. So that's pretty much what happened in that game. Seahawks able to get that one. I know Geno Smith looks like he was doing well. So yeah, Lions only 1-3, Seahawks 2-2. Let's see, Jaguars and the Eagles. This was the game they were down 14-0. Jaguars looking good to start the year. Trevor Lawrence looking pretty rejuvenated under a decent head coach in Doug Peterson. They were up 14-0, but the Eagles, man, the Eagles are pretty talented. They come back, get the win 29-21. We look at the stat line. Let's see how. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence only did 174, 2 touchdowns and interception. Jalen Hurts only threw for 204. He had no touches and an interception. Did have a rushing touchdown, though. Let's see here. Miles Sanders, he led the day, though. He had 2 touchdowns, 134 yards rushing on 27 attempts. And A.J. Brown, he's been balling, still got 95 yards on 5 catches. Dallas Goedert, solid tight end, too. So, yeah, Philly, they're trying to compete. They're looking pretty gnarly. I think they're only an undefeated team left in the NFL at 4-0, so we'll see how they look week 5. Jets beat the Steelers, which led to the Steelers benching Mitch Trubisky. So Kenny Pickett, you're up next. So the young rookie, late first-round pick, is now starting in Pittsburgh. They announced that he's going to be the starter for the rest of the season. Let's see here. What else we have? Falcons get the victory, 23-20. Cordero Patterson, who had been their surprising star running back for the last year and a half, I'd say. He's had a great start to the game and ended up getting an injury, and now he's on IR. So Falcons, they're going to run the ball. They got this Algier guy and this Huntley, another Huntley guy. I only know these names because I play fantasy and I happen to have Patterson. So these guys were important for me to try to get. Yeah, Browns Jacoby in fourth quarter. I'm sorry. It's not enough. It's not enough this season. Let's see. Titans beat the Colts 24-17. At that point, it was like, man, Colts are kind of looking disappointed. But, man, 2 wins against 2 AFC West teams. I like it. Beating the Chiefs and beating the Broncos. Thank you so much there, Indy. I do appreciate that myself personally. And I know the rest of the Vegas Raiders fan base, the whole Raider Nation is definitely appreciative. I don't know why I phrased it that way, but yes. Thank you. But yeah, they couldn't get it done against Tennessee the week prior. Division matchup. Tennessee was playing for the rest of their season at that point. They're now 2-2. And Derrick Henry had a good game, had 114 yards and a touchdown. So yeah, it's been some sloppy football this season. I don't know what to make of it. Cowboys knocked off the Commanders 25-10. Cooper Rush getting another victory. Dak looks like he's still missing a few weeks. And Cardinals Panthers in the evening that had Kyler Murray in the second half. Man, dude, it's crazy having him as a fantasy quarterback because it's like I shouldn't watch the game, but I'm still watching highlights as it's happening, and I'm like, fuck, what's he doing? And then just out of nowhere, this dude, they just like don't even run plays. He just goes around and just finds people, and it works. I don't know why. I don't know how, but I guess they should do that more. I don't know. They should start like that in the first quarter, maybe. Play to your strengths. I mean, there's a argument to be made. That should be the move there. And then you had the Packers, Patriots. Packers 27, Pats 24. That was a sloppy game by the Packers. Had a pick six. Brian Hoyer was in the game to start at quarterback since Mac Jones twisted his ankle at the end of the previous game, which was against Baltimore. So Hoyer went in, and then he went out. He went in, and then he went out. Because once again, he got another head injury. Looked like he's now in the concussion protocol. And the third stringer, Ben Zappi, I think he's like a fifth-round quarterback, something like that. He got elevated to be the backup, and he played most of the game. So the Zapper was out there slinging the rock. And, I mean, considering that they had a third-string running back, Patriots, the rest of the team, played pretty damn well, I'm not going to lie. And kept him in the game. I know Bill Belichick was irate on the sideline for a second, yelling at the officials. That's a very good meme if you haven't seen it, or just GIF, I guess, or a little clip. Go watch that shit. Go see him just throw his headset and start talking shit. He just started just cursing out this official over some ruling. I can't remember what exactly happened on the field, but man, when Belichick goes off like that, that shit is just fun to watch because that dude is intense. He's in that shit. And then we had Kansas City won again, 41-31. And then on Monday night, it was the Rams losing to the Niners. Oh, dude, one of the greatest tackles in NFL history happened against a fan. There was somebody who ran up on the field and they had like pink streamers and shit, and they were like running, and the security was chasing them, and the guy started running towards the Rams sideline, and the Rams offense was on the field at this time, so they were just chilling, the defenders, and like some dude started running after the guy, and then Bobby Wagner came out of nowhere and just went bam and like leveled him, and security got it from there. But I was like, yo, that was a nasty hit. You do not want to take one form tackle from Bobby Wagner, former All-Pro, Super Bowl winner. So, yeah. Hall of Famer, all-decade guy, like future Hall of Famer. He's that good. He's that good. But team wasn't that night, so Niners, man, yeah. I guess they're playing good at home. I guess they're figuring it out. Dude, I think Debo won that game basically by himself, man. He made a ridiculous play. Jimmy G kind of overthrew him, caught the ball, juked the defender, cut it up, missed a couple of defenders. Out of the picture frame comes Jalen Ramsey at cornerback, already there to make the tackle. And this fool just trucks him like he was nothing. Like he was just freaking thin air, man. He just ran through him like nothing. He looked like a Hollywood glass, like the sugar glass. He just went, so he ran through him, and then just continued to go and just like outran like another guy or two. So it was like crazy. He took on like 5 dudes on the play and scored a touchdown. So Debo is something else, man. Debo is something else. Let's see. Any other injuries to report on? Oh, dude, looks like Brian Robinson, the running back for the Commanders, the Commies, the Manders, the C words. what other terms have I heard? Yeah, Brian Robinson looks like he's now medically cleared to play football. He was on the physically unable to perform this because this man got shot in a carjacking attempt. He got shot 2 times, and looks like he's good to go, man. That dude, freaking these NFL players are so damn tough, man. Guys going through shootings, man. Myles Garrett got into that car accident last week. Didn't end up playing this week, which might have made a difference. It was only a 3-point game, but like, dude wanted to play, and it was still up to game time. So, I mean, even Tua after this shit, the Dolphins just yesterday made the announcement that he was not going to play this week. Like, he shouldn't play for a couple months, man. Like, it is going to be interesting to see when that happens, when he comes back, because there's going to be a lot of pressure on whatever decision the team makes, because it's like 1 concussion, all right, you can recover from that. But if you come back too early and sustain a second one, then it becomes, things are like multiplied in terms of like the severity of the injury. And so if you get like 3rd and 4th or whatever, multiple concussions past that, then it's like you can start, talking about like some permanent damage, possibly career-ending stuff. Some people thought that hit that he took last week was a career ender. You talk depending on which doctor you talk to. So, yeah, prayers for him. But yeah, these guys are going through fucking hell and high water just to play football, man. It is crazy. It's just rough and tumble out there. Let's see what else has been happening. Other offseason. Already said Kenny Pickett gonna start. Raiders gonna sign linebacker Blake Martinez to the team. They need some help on defense. And now we get to some news off the field. Some of this pretty unfortunate, some of it scandalous. Let's start with the wild and unfortunate. There's news that there was a fan attending the game between the Jets and the Steelers last week at Acrisure Stadium, which is formerly Heinz Field over in Pittsburgh. Apparently died after falling from an escalator. Serious stuff, man. It's freaking crazy. Not the first time that this has happened at NFL games or just, professional sporting events in general, because there have been people who've fallen off the bleachers before and passed away. I've heard of a few. I think, what was it? Was it in Houston a couple years ago? I think that happened to somebody. It's like a couple different places. I can't remember exactly. Maybe the Niners, I want to say, a few years ago. I remember talking about it here on this podcast, but condolences to that poor fan. I've been at certain venues where you like take certain escalators and stuff, and it can get really steep, and you can understand that, man, if you like fall over here, it could be bad. It could be bad news. Like if you go to crypto.com, aka old Staples, the elevator is pretty freaking steep to get up to like the 300 level, the 3rd deck, I guess, up there, upper deck. And if you have tickets up there, and if you get pretty wasted and like just are not careful, you can tumble and fall over there. Like I've been like, I have like a little bit of a fear of heights at certain places like that, where you can kind of like look over and you can say like, all right, one false move and something can happen, like that. Those kind of situations, I try to exude confidence and try to be like, smooth about it. But like inside, sometimes I'm like, oh shit. You start getting anxious and all that. The anxiety starts to set in. So like that does happen for me from time to time. But like, yes, I mean, I felt that there. I felt that at the Oakland Coliseum before. If you go before they had the tarp up on the third deck over there, you used to be able to go up to the very, very top and like you look over at the concourse section and you're like, holy shit, this is just concrete down here, man. If somebody takes one, like they could easily just fall right over, and that could be it, man. So yeah, there's a couple places you feel that. So fortunate news there. All right, now let's get to the kind of crazy and insane news. Pretty sure you might have heard about this. If you haven't seen the pictures, footage, whatever, the evidence so far, yeah, it's so crazy that you gotta look it up. Don't believe me, look it up yourself. But ex NFL All Pro Antonio Brown, ex former clown ass Raider for a quick minute. Antonio Brown, man who has suffered his share of CT inducing hits over the years. Most of all from Vontaze Burfict, who decleated him in that playoff game. Like, whoo, that was intense. Yeah, he was in a hotel in Dubai apparently, and was just out there hanging with his cock out at the pool, open in public, and getting all nasty and shit. Yeah, it was, this man is packing a piece. Holy shit. Like, I gotta give respect where respect's due, but like, goddamn, you can't be doing that shit in public, but like, fuck. Holy shit. Yeah, I was getting freaky with some chick in the pool and stuff like that, and so it was crazy. I don't know if he thinks he could do that shit in international waters. I don't know if that's international waters, a pool in a hotel in Abu Dhabi, or Dubai. Where was he? In Dubai, I think. But holy shit. I saw online some people were saying that was from like months ago, so might not be recent, but timing's kind of crazy. AB acting a fool. He be posting memes online, talking about Gisele because she's been in the news recently. Has been hinted upon previously. It looks like it might be official. Apparently Gisele Bündchen and Tom Brady have both hired divorce lawyers, and now they're kind of settling, I guess, how they're going to split the family up and all that stuff and how that's going to be arranged. But, yeah, so now there's some discord in the Brady family in the household, so it's all not so hot over there. But yeah, AB posted a picture of him Photoshop holding Gisele in his arms, like after they won the Super Bowl with Tampa, and fuck, bro, like this fool just stirring the pot. I saw so many memes. Everyone's talking about how Zach Wilson gonna shoot a shot at Gisele now. Saw a picture of him, a video of him doing the gritty and shit. I can't do that shit. I don't know how to do that shit. Anyway, that was horrible. I'm old, man. I don't know if TikTok dances might not be for me. This might not be for these 30-year-old niece, man. Might not be it. So yeah, Gisele. What's gonna happen, man? I think it was the avocado ice cream, man. Maybe it's too much, man. She's like, give me some dairy in my life. I need a man that can give me that shit. She sounded like she was doing prison terms. She was talking about, I had to live in Boston for like a decade. Oh man, she's like, what? She could live in Paris. She could live wherever she wants to. Milan, London, New York, Miami. She's like, nah, we had to live in Boston in the cold. This guy wanted to play football forever. Oh man. So yeah, that's a thing now. So that's the rumor mill. That's the 411. And yeah, and I think that's all the NFL stories we got for you today. Let's talk some NBA news, man. This is gonna be the NBA season coming up in like 2 weeks, man. It's already preseason action going on, and yeah, we haven't really talked ball in a couple podcasts, couple episodes. So get right into it. Let's see what other NBA news we got. There's new CBA negotiations happening. It's expected to lower the draft age to the age of 18, so it's going to let high school players jump right back into the NBA. Currently, the situation right now is there's got to be you got to be 19 years old or 1 year out of graduating high school. So like some dudes have been graduating early just so they can get there sooner rather than later. So yeah, now it's going to be lowered back to 18 like how it was prior. So maybe we'll see some young prep stars kind of like in the era with Kobe. Kobe was like 17. KG I think was also 17. Those guys are crazy. Tracy McGrady, I know he bypassed college. So yeah, there's a lot of all-stars, a lot of flops, but I mean, there's always going to be flops in professional sports and guys who just don't live up to that expectation, but it's the nature of the game. So yeah, age lower to 18. There was also going to be what else? What was the thing? Oh yeah, there's gonna be a mental health designation after the shit show that happened with Ben Simmons last year. So if you have mental health issues, you can go on hiatus for a certain amount of time, I guess, as needed. So yeah, that's its own health diagnosis, I guess, within the league. Some other potential changes. G League is going to set a target score for overtime games. So it's going to be the first team to score 7 points in OT will win the contest. So who knows? Maybe that'll be adopted in the NBA full time. I know they tried it at the All-Star game. They had like a hybrid model of using the target score, I guess, is how they call it. So what was it? It was the team who was ahead after the end of fourth quarter plus 24 points in honor of Kobe. That's the score you need to hit. And whoever gets to that score first wins the game. So they just keep playing, no clock. It's kind of cool. Feels like more pickup basketball style. Not a pressure to be like going up and down and just like with the clock, it's like, all right, we just like certain to know how much you got to do. So like certain points in the clock, it gets more tense. This way, it's like kind of same intensity throughout every possession, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of interesting to watch. It was cool. It's cool in the All-Star game. So yeah, we'll see how it unfolds in the G League, kind of in the overtime games, I guess. More off the court news. Let's see. Nick Young, formerly of the Lakers, formerly of a couple other franchises as well, names former teammate D'Angelo Russell as the NBA player he'd want to enter the boxing ring with. As you may or may not know, Nick Young had a prior relationship with the rapper Iggy Azalea, and so they were a thing. They were together, and there was a video that came out of D'Angelo Russell in the locker room talking shit and bringing up the fact that he had like some other girlfriends on the side or whatever, and that video leaked out to the internet somehow, and then that relationship with Iggy and Nick Young, Swaggy P and Iggy A, they split up because of that shit. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still not over it, and he says he still want to whoop that ass. So I know a lot of these ex-athletes are getting into celebrity boxing nowadays. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the fight game, but yeah. Nick Young still got the smoke. He still wants the smoke. Still wants it with the D-Lo, man. So we'll see if that happens at some point. Russell's still playing on Minnesota. He's still shooting those lefty three-pointers and seemingly not performing up to expectations again. I don't know. Was he worth all those picks? Who knows? This man's been traded a lot in his career. I think it's like D'Angelo's kind of one of those players, like in theory, you want better than in practice. You're like, yeah, man, it's like a sharpshooting, smooth, ball handling point guard who, seems like he's got all the tools. Hell yeah, I'll take that. But then you see him on the court and you're like, oh, there's things that you don't bring every game that you might need to succeed every night in the NBA. It's like that attention to detail. Maybe the want to try to get people open, the want to be aggressive all the time, the want to, I don't know. It's kind of up and down. The the certain effort on defense, I'll say that's one thing. Yeah, Anyway, I don't. Why are we taking down D'Angelo Russell? The man has earned his money. Get your paper. Keep hitting them threes, contested 3-pointers. And then I don't know. Maybe practice your fucking throw some hands and shit like that. Hit the bag a couple times. Maybe you can take it out on Nick Young. I guess. Once you're done playing. I don't know. Maybe just retire now. Just go into boxing and just start making more money that way. But I'm not your financial advisor, your career advisor. So what the fuck? Do what you want to, D'Angelo. Do what you want to, man. Let's see. Speaking of the Timberwolves, team had issues with Anthony Edwards, their young star. They were quote unquote disappointed in the player for anti-gay remarks that he said in a video on his Instagram stories on September the 11th last month. Think he called someone an FA whatever. You can fill in the rest of that Mad Libs. Yeah. So yeah, he said some stuff, and then it was just like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that, and he apologized. But I think in like generations past, this probably wouldn't have even been a thing, and wouldn't have even became a story. It was kind of weird. It was kind of like on the bottom of like the NBA threads on the day it happened. So I was just like, oh, you happen to catch it, and you're like, God damn. Do I think he has hatred in his heart for people of the LGBTQ community? Probably not. I think it was just one of those instances where certain phrases are uttered and it means a different thing, but still can be hurtful nonetheless to certain people. I'll just say that. So I'm not the one to make that judgment, since I'm not the one targeted in the slur. So you be you do you. But yeah, man. Anthony Edwards, what is he, still like 20, 21, something like that? So he ain't gonna be like canceled or nothing over this. I didn't really see it picked up too much steam, but also I guess I'm not plugged into that community that much online, so maybe they're over here writing think pieces and whatnot. A lot of people upset on the internet. I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't hear it, but did see that story, so I was just like, holy shit, it's weird. Why am I explaining it to you like this? My fucking thought process for bringing this up? I don't know, because I don't have thoughts on this right now. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? And also, it happened like a month ago, so I'm just like, kind of forgot about it. To be honest, TBH. Let's see, what else? Taurean Prince, also of the T-Wolves, got arrested at the Miami airport on warrant. He was charged with carrying a weapon. He had 2 handguns. Yeah, it was drug possession because he had weed and a vape pen and apparently half a gram. Weed via a vape pen and half a gram. So yeah, man's got arrested in Miami last month. Think he's out, and I think he's cool now. But like, yeah, legal troubles for NBA players. What's new? Shit happens. Let's see here. Jason Tatum, he says he played through a fractured wrist last season. Apparently he hurt it in February versus the Atlanta Hawks, and he re-aggravated it in the second round versus the Milwaukee Bucks after Giannis's foul on a dunk attempt. I think I remember exactly which dunk attempt that was, because he did come down pretty hard and slap his wrist. It was one of those where it's like he tried to get the ball and his hand was a little bit higher than Giannis's. So, and Giannis has got big old paws, so he's definitely going to hit him. And I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But yeah, man, that's a pretty heroic performance considering he was injured most of that playoff run, because they still had another 2 rounds to go. But maybe it'll help explain why they flamed out towards the end. I don't know. But, yeah, let's see a healthy Tatum through the playoffs this year. Let's see if we can get that to happen. But yeah, speaking of injuries, though, this is unfortunate news. I don't know if there's any Chicago Bulls fans out there who are listening, but you already know. Unfortunate turn of events for the recovery of Lonzo Ball. He had ACL surgery last year, but it looked like it's just not taking. He's had a couple follow-up surgeries since then. He was out 4 to 6 weeks following a knee procedure that was happening last month on the 28th, September 28th. Expected to miss a few months after the surgery. He had surgery prior when the injury occurred last season, and apparently his recovery efforts weren't going very well. He was struggling to get out of bed and walk around. So it's like, yikes! It had already been like 8 to 9 months since that happened. I think it was maybe February last year when it happened. So that's a tough one, man. Best of luck to you in your recovery and all that. Who else? We got another season-ending injury. This one for a player who hasn't even played yet in the league. In number 2 overall draft pick, Chet Holmgren. He sustained an injury. He's going to be out for the season. He broke his foot. He was playing at the crossover Pro-Am event in Seattle, which is, what's his name? Jay Crossover, freaking, why am I freaking, Jamal Crawford. It's Jamal Crawford. It was his Pro-Am event that he throws up in Seattle every offseason. And yeah, Chet was playing in the game and just happened to break his foot. Unfortunate turn of events, so he'll be missing the season. So there's going to be a lot of attention on Paolo Banchero to win Rookie of the Year. I will say he'd be the front runner, the favorite. Why am I blanking on the guy's name for Houston that got drafted? He looks like he's going to be a good player, but he's going to take a minute. Keegan Murray, he might have a chance to produce right away for Sacramento. And if he's good, the team can take the next step and hopefully make the playoffs, man. That's all I'm asking. Just finish in the top 8, bro. Finish in the top 8, please. Finish in the top 8. I have not seen the Kings make the playoffs since I was in 8th grade, man. It has been that long. I had hair back then and shit. It is bad now. Like, come on, Sac. I'm praying. Please do it. Please do it this year. Come on, baby Sabonis. Come on, man. Come on, De'Aaron Fox. Take that next step. Take it to the next level, man. Just win some games. Win some games this season. Let's see. More injury news. Unfortunate. Danilo Gallinari for the Celtics out indefinitely after he tore his meniscus in Italy's FIBA World Cup qualifying match versus Georgia on August the 27th. He was diagnosed with a torn ACL 5 days later on July the 2nd. 6 days later. And in July, he signed a 2-year, $13.3 million contract with the Boston Celtics. So, yeah, signed the contract, went to go play with Italy, tore his ACL. Sad turn of events. Looks like they're going to have the second year of that contract to at least look out for. But Boston, they were looking forward to having him there. But as a result, the team ended up picking up Blake Griffin on a 1-year deal. So he's going to try to provide that scoring punch off the bench, I guess. Last year in Brooklyn was a little tough for Blake. He might have looked a little long in the tooth there. Stretches. Didn't see the court quite as much as he did when he played with when he first got to the squad. I'll say that because it looked like he was rejuvenated at times, but last year it was like, I don't know, man. This might be his last stop out of the league, but he's gonna get another chance to go play over at Boston. There's a couple guys that are still free agents that are like old-time veterans. Dwight Howard, I know Carmelo Anthony. So who knows if another team's going to start kicking the tires on either of those guys for next season. But speaking of the Euros, our international FIBA competition, there was a Eurobasket, which is one of the bigger international tournaments that go on, especially because there's like a lot of NBA talent getting played between a lot of these top-end countries. But yeah, Luka Doncic, he's one of the players playing for Slovenia. He had the best scoring performance in 65 years of the tournament, which is pretty impressive. He had 47 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals in one game. can't even remember who he's playing, and it doesn't really matter. Anytime you put up that stat line, I think they're playing only 40-minute games. Like, bruh. Hats off to you. You're fucking balling, dog. Luka's doing his thing. He might be a problem. He might be the MVP this next season. I think he might be the front runner, betting favorite. I don't know. Giannis is always up there. People are looking at maybe if Tatum can stay healthy, if he doesn't hurt his wrist. I don't know. Maybe. See who's out in front and who's got their teams competing for high seeds, because that always helps with the argument that you have. Maybe Embiid has another great year. Jokic, his team is gonna be better, but will his stats still be as good? Will they get better? I mean, can he win 3 MVPs in a row? It's very rare. I think the only 3 players have ever done that, win 3 MVPs in a row. I know Larry Bird. I think he was the last one to do it. I think Wilt, and I want to say Bill Russell. That's an impressive list of players. So, if Jokic can do it again, man, shit, man. The Serbians doing work, man. That's some legendary status right there. Where were we? Luka went off. All right, yeah. That man's earning his money. A couple other players who have earned some money. Tyler Hero, the Miami Heat, he signed a new deal, 4 years, $130 million extension, $120 million guaranteed, 10 in incentives that he can earn. Feel like this is par for the course now. Is he a superstar player? Not necessarily. Is he always going to be a starter on your team? Maybe not so. But I think in a few years, this is what I've been hearing. This is what I've been reading about, is that this new CBA, this new salary cap is going to be astronomical, and guys who signed for $20 million a year are going to be steals. That's what they say. That's kind of crazy to hear. But, I mean, every generation, that shit just keeps bumping up. So, I mean, people kind of gawk at Russell Westbrook making $47 million. But there's going to be some guys that are going to make like 50, 60, 70 million potentially in the next 5 to 10 years. So it's like, whoo, this shit just numbers keeps jumping up, man. Keep jumping up. It's crazy. Yeah, that happened. Let's see what else we got. We got Memphis Grizzlies. They signed Steven Adams to a 2-year, $25.2 million extension. Another team down south, the New Orleans Pelicans, they ink Larry Nance Jr. to 2 years, $21.6 million extension. Nance played pretty well down the stretch, you know, solid big man, getting some money. As I mentioned, Blake Griffin signed the deal with the Celtics. We had a trade. Rockets getting Derek Favors, Ty Jerome, Mo Harkless, and Theo Maledon, along with a second-round pick in 26 and cash from the Thunder for David Nwaba, Sterling Brown, Trey Burke, and Marquise Chris in the 8-player swap. So I guess the best player in that deal is Favors, I guess. Still, maybe Mo Harkless as well. So I don't know. Did Houston get better? Houston get better with this deal? I think they might have, but I don't know. I don't know what the Rockets are trying to do. They still got young core, so do they really need all these guys? Maybe not, but maybe that's the veteran presence they need in the locker room. I don't know. What else? Oh yeah, new news just came out last night actually. Apparently there's a rift going on between a couple players in the Warriors locker room, which is kind of uncharted territory. This is a team that usually has a lot of shit, sewn up and buttoned up and everything. All the issues that they have, they keep it in-house. They kind of hold it down. So it looks like there's some drama maybe. Apparently it's between Jordan Poole and Draymond Green. Apparently there was an altercation that happened. They got into it. From what I read, the altercation stemmed from a disagreement involving some contract negotiations. So I don't know who was on who started that shit, because Draymond says he thinks he deserves to be played as a max player, and it looks like Jordan Poole signed his deal, so he's getting some money, getting paid. So I don't know if it was Poole kind of stunting on Draymond, saying like, I got my money. I don't know if there's enough room for you over here, homie. Like, what's up? Like, what's happening? But I don't know. That the Warriors could discipline him as well, since he got a physical altercation. He apologized to the team this morning before the practice and then just went home. I think Steve Kerr kicked him out. So yeah, I think the quote I read today was like, yeah, distance is good sometimes. And the reporter asked him where was he at or why he wasn't there. Yeah, sometimes distance is good. So, so yeah, we'll see. Will Draymond punch somebody this season? I don't know. What are the odds? I might bet that. I mean, he's got into it with KD. He's yelling at him and shit like that. Man, he's pissing off all these guards, man. All these wing players. He's like, I'm gonna handle this. I will run the ship. I will get you the rock when you need it. You're like, man, bro, like let me cook, bro. Let me cook. Trying to start this pool party. What's up? But yeah, little tension there for the defending champs. Will it be the thing that ultimately does them in? We shall see. When they got to run a Jordan Poole, Draymond Green handoff situation, are they going to be some feelings of resentment between each of the guys? I don't know. Can they coexist? No, Draymond's always been known to be somebody to push buttons, man. Maybe he's pushing too many after a certain time. Sometimes you're on your course, but it would be crazy to see that the trio of Clay, Steph, and Draymond be broken up. Just because they've been there so long. They've been there together. And it's like every time all three of those guys are together and they're healthy, it's like they got a chance for a championship. And that's just the facts. That's just what they've done in their career. So they're either like in the conference finals, in the finals, winning finals. I think they got 4 now. Curry's got 4. So this is what it is, man. Yeah, when he tore his ACL against the Raptors, that was pretty devastating for Clay. That was a nasty blow. So it was nice to see him get back on the court this last season. I know he didn't play up to his potential, but like, who knows? Maybe another year he comes back and he's got better numbers. He's got his legs under him, and maybe his percentages go back up to where they were before. But there has been some talk about, hey, maybe one of these guys ends up leaving town, and I think the odds would be in the favor of Draymond possibly moving on. There's talk that maybe Detroit in the past, since he's a kid from Michigan, that maybe he'd want to go back over there, but that comes with its own ball of wax, you know. A lot of players, they don't necessarily want to be playing in front of their hometown teams and where they grew up, as you get a lot of scrutiny, you get a lot of pressure, and there's always that attention that's on you, even if you're not necessarily like the star player. Still considerable. Let's see. Oh yeah, last NBA story of the offseason. I don't know if you guys have been following this crazy saga, but I think we got to say RIP to Jimmy Butler's dreadlocks. Those extensions are no longer. The extended warranty has been finished. You're no more coverage on his scalp from that. I don't know if you guys saw the videos. People were roasting him for a second in the comments. He got a hair change. He's typically a guy who keeps it high and tight on the side, and will have it braided up top, or just have just like a little longer up top or whatever. A little, not quite an afro, but just a little bit up there. Sometimes he gets it, braided down. It's kind of how he had it last season. So yeah, there's a video of him. He's undoing the hair, and he has it, all out, and then out of nowhere, the hair is way longer, and it's like, wait, you got extensions put in, and then it got like put in a dreadlock, or he got like his hair braided and then put in a dreadlock extension. It was, I shouldn't be explaining it. Lord knows I should not be explaining his hair situation, but like, yeah, he had extensions put in for some dreads, and everybody was like, yo, this bro skipped hella steps in the process to get his shit locked. locked in like that. But yeah. So he had the dreadlocks for a second, and he had them during, I guess, the first couple of preseason games, and I think they showed him on the bench today, even though he didn't play. He did not have that long of hair, so I think the dreadlocks are gone. So RIP to the dreads. Kind of weird, kind of an interesting choice there, Jimmy, if I'll say so myself. But who am I to hate? Who do whatever the fuck you want to do with your hair? Cause that's what I'm doing with mine right now. I don't have too many options. This I'm growing it out for a role that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to see if I can pull off, but like it is not so hot. People ask me like, Mario, why you shave your head? It's like, cause look at this shit. Look good. Don't look the best, but yeah. A couple more weeks of this and yeah. Words. I don't know how much I want to talk to you guys about that. Yeah, I think so. We'll keep the secret. So like we'll let you guys fill it in. Put it in the chat. Put in the comments where you think I might be dressing up as for Halloween. I'll just leave it at that. What else is happening? Let's talk baseball news. There's been a lot of craziness going on this season. A lot of milestones. Some storylines heading into the playoffs. But not everybody made it all the way through the season, so we'll talk about a couple guys who had their season cut short. We had Joey Votto. He had rotator cuff surgery a few months back. Brandon Belt. He had knee surgery. Looks like he's still trying to keep on playing for next season. The veteran with the Giants. If it is the end or whenever the end comes for Brandon Belt, thank you. I think your career is like a lot more impressive than I think what I might have initially anticipated. There, he was like highly touted prospect, then came up and had some numbers, but then had some like, can he be a superstar kind of thing? Maybe not, but he's just consistent, solid, played a lot, and he actually had like a career year last year, which was kind of crazy. So, not so hot this year for the Giants though. So hopefully they can step it back up. They had like 107 wins last season. That was freaking unreal. This year, not so much. Let's keep it in the NL West. The Dodgers, Walker Buehler, he had Tommy John surgery for the second time, so he's not going to be able to make it to the playoffs this year for them. This was a funny story. Aroldis Chapman of the New York Yankees, he was placed on the injured list with an infection that was caused by a tattoo that happened 2 months ago. And he was under a lot of scrutiny because he was not holding down leads for the team like he used to be able to. So, team has gone elsewhere. I'm trying to think who's the saves leader for the Yankees. Saves leader for Yankees. Oh no, this year, not all-time career. Let's see, Yankees closer. Is it still Chapman? No, Clay Holmes. That's what it was. Oh, now they had Clay Holmes. He's dealing with shoulder injury. Damn. Who's gonna pitch for them? Dealing with a shoulder strain. Closer. Oh yeah, so they're going closer by committee, I guess. Yeah, I guess they're just going for the matchups and seeing what works. I'm not familiar with their bullpen, but yeah, they keep it moving. There. So going on the injured list because of a tattoo. I don't know if that sounds like fake. That sounds like fabricated, and like they were just trying to find something to get him off the roster so they could just try to put the best team out there. But like that fucking sucks. Aroldis Chapman, you've gotten tattoos before, man. So like I don't know if I should blame him. You should blame the tattoo artist. I don't know if you got to get a refund on that tattoo or what. I don't know if does it getting infected actually like affect the ink and the artwork and how it's gonna look? Is his skin gonna heal correctly. I don't know. Does that really affect being able to play baseball? I guess so. I guess you can't be. Well, I mean, he wears sleeves. I don't know. Where is the tattoo? Where was the tattoo? Oh. Let's see here. What else? Man, I feel like I haven't talked baseball in a minute, so these are all old as shit. Verlander was on the injured list a couple months ago. Scherzer was on the injured list. He's back now. He had an oblique injury. Julio Rodriguez was on the injured list. He's back too for the Mariners. Let's see. Spencer Strider for the Braves. He came back. Oblique strain. All right. Yeah, that's enough. Let's talk historical moments that's happened. For the St. Louis Cardinals, let's start with them. Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina, they set the record for most starts as a battery mate. They had 325 games together, 325 starts. And this was done on September 14th, so I think they finished with a few more to end the season. Wainwright also pitched out of the bullpen a couple years. He was their closer for a little bit. So, very versatile pitcher. One of the best arms of his generation, statistically, if you look at it. And him and Molina always they always looked like they were on the same page. Yadi looked like he was on the same page with everybody because he was just that good. He was just that amazing of a catcher throughout his career. I think a lot of people say what like ultimate kind of teammate type of dude. So Yadi, man, future Hall of Famer, deserves all the credit and respect. He's gonna retire after this season. Wainwright, they don't know, but the other legend who's on the team for this season, Albert Pujols, man, he's gonna retire as well. And it was a question as to how he was gonna do this year because he was on the precipice of hitting a couple big milestones, but it looked like he was pretty much able to accomplish what a lot of people thought was maybe impossible. And this man got to 700 home runs, man. He's had a lot of big moments along the way. So, like, for instance, he set the record with homering off of 450 pitchers. At the time, he had 694, and this was on August the 29th. He passed. Yeah, man, he got all the way to 704, I want to say. So he got to pass. He's like at fifth all time. I think he's like, who's at 700? Like Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds. Who else? I think, Babe Ruth is up there, 686. Hold on, let me look at this all time. All right, boom. MLB home run kings, home run leaders. Boom. Yeah, Bonds, Aaron, Ruth. Ruth got 714, and now it's Pujols 703. I thought he was at 704. 703. Yeah, he finished the season hitting a home run in his last game too. So he had like 6 home runs throughout the first half of the season. He had like 18 down the stretch. So he caught a hot streak. I saw today he said he was considering retiring in June, and he would have not been able to hit some of these milestones, which would have been kind of crazy because his run to 700, he was getting a lot of praise and a lot of attention for that. So, but also the team, Cardinals themselves, they're still winning, man. They made the playoffs, so they're still in it, and he's got a chance to continue on with the season. But he's not the most prolific home run hitter this year. No, not by a long shot. Even though, props to him for his whole career. He's been bona fide superstar since he came up pretty much. I mean, playing all over, coming up in the outfield, playing first base, DHing now that the DH is in the NL, pitching a little bit this season even too. I mean, Albert, he's done a lot. He's mop-up duty pitcher. But yeah, we got to give our hats off once again to the home run king for the season and one of the greatest home run seasons of all time, to none other than Linden High School's very own Aaron Judge. Shout out to the 209 once again. Yeah. Aaron Judge hit 62 home runs this season. He broke the Yankees record. He broke the AL record. And for a lot of people, he broke the non-steroid record. So, depending on how you look at that, how much merit you want to give to that, it's either a real big thing or it's not that big at all. But the man demolished the competition in comparison to where he's at. I think he hit like 20 home runs more than the second place person. I think it was Kyle Schwarber. Or like 18 more, 16 more. Yeah, he had like a 20 home run lead at a certain point. It was crazy. Which was like, I think third or fourth all time difference from first to second in terms of like most home runs. It's like lapping the field, man. It's crazy, man. There was a lot of attention the last couple of weeks as he was chasing down the record. He was getting up to 60 home runs, and they had his mom and like Roger Maris Jr. were following him around for like a week and a half, trying to figure out, where he's gonna be. Well, they played a bunch of home games and he didn't hit a lot of home runs, or any, for a long stretch. He got cold for like about a week and a half, and he wasn't getting good pitches to hit too. You could tell a lot of pitchers didn't want to become part of history. So eventually he got a pitch to hit over in Toronto. I think it was like off a relief pitcher, like in the 7th inning. Something like that. Anyway, but yeah, he hit the home run in Toronto, tied the record, hit 61, and then he hit 62 over in Arlington against the Rangers, the last series of the season. So, congrats are in order to Aaron Judge. You have definitely earned yourself a fat contract this offseason. The man bet on himself. He said, you're going to offer me this much. I think I'm worth more. And I'm going to go out and earn it because I'm going to be a free agent after the end of the season. And if you guys don't want to pay me, somebody else is going to pay me. So, congratulations, Aaron Judge. Come to San Francisco, boy. Come to San Francisco. Yeah, you want to turn the Giants franchise around? I know you grew up a Giants fan, bro. Come on, man. Come on, dude. Come back to the Bay. That would be dope. Yeah, I know a lot of Yankees fans are probably going to be like, yo, we just got to empty out the bank, man. Push the dump truck out and just give him all the cash that he wants because, like, dude is insane. Center fielder that's like 6'7" and just mashes like that is just like video game character. Dude, these new MLB superstars are like video game characters, man. Like Shohei Ohtani's like the new pitching, hitting, do it all player that I don't know if we've ever seen a guy. He was top 5 in like ERA and like strikeouts and a whole bunch of statistics pitching, and then is like really good with the bat too. Hit like 30 plus home runs I think this season. So like, dude, what the hell, does it all. And then yeah, Aaron Judge is like a freaking superhero comic book character behind the plate, man. Just so much bigger than everybody, and it's just like, man, it just looks effortless when he hits it deep, hits it like over 450. You're like, man, this is crazy. This dude mashes it. So yeah, he passed Babe Ruth, passed Roger Maris, and he is now the all-time Yankees single season home run leader. So congratulations, man. Congratulations. It's so crazy. I got to follow him since he was in middle school pretty much, man, because my cousin, he went to high school, middle school with him. He grew up kind of in the same group of friends, small little farming community, Linden. And yeah, got to like compete against him, like playing basketball. He played basketball, football, and baseball, 3-sport athlete there in high school, and got to play against him in basketball a little bit. Never did football. He was I think he was on varsity already by the time we played. I think we only played my freshman year. Played against a couple buddies that I knew that was on that team, but not a lot. So, I mean, yeah. Crazy. Yeah, man. Athletes coming out of the 209, man. Got to give them respect. Got to give them love. And props to the Judge family and for raising what seemingly amazing kid, son, I guess. And yeah, man, whole new home run leader, man, for the AL. That's 62. I think that's like 5th all time now, something like that. It was like Barry Bonds. He got 73. We've got was it McGuire? 70 even 69 something. And then Sammy Sosa had like a 68, so it was like a 70 68. And he had a season with 66 also. And then maybe am I missing somebody that somebody else had 60? There's only like I think 4 players have ever hit 60. I think that's what it was. So Maris or over 60. I don't know. Now I got to look at this. Now I got to look this up. MLB single season home run leader. Boom. Yeah, Bonds, McGuire 70. Oh yeah, McGuire hit 65 also. That's what it was. So had 66 in 98, 64 in 01, and 63 in 99. And none of those years he led the league in home runs because Bonds or McGuire beat him in those seasons. Yeah, dude, roids were ridiculous. The roid era was insane, dude. So yeah. Yep, and then Aaron Judge, 2022, man. So that's very impressive, man. Ruth, Maris, Judge, Sosa, McGuire, Bonds. 6 guys have ever hit 60 home runs. So that's an exclusive ass club, man. That's on baseball. They love their numbers, they love their history and all that shit. But yeah, that's you gotta give your hats off. Hats off, little hats off, man. Aaron Judge, get that money. Get that money, baby. All right, let's keep it moving. Couple other cool statistical occurrences that happened in MLB this season. We had Mike Trout. He homered in 7 straight games on what is this? September the 12th. He was 1 shy away from tying the record. But yeah, dude had a home run every game for a week. Man, that's impressive. Let's see. Spencer Strider, rookie pitcher for the Braves, broke their record, the team record, with 16 strikeouts versus the Rockies on September the 1st. Let's see. Dylan Cease almost threw a no-no. He had 2 outs in the 9th inning on 2 days later, September the 3rd. But the Twins' Luis Arraez, who ended up being the batting champion this year, he broke that up with the hit. So close no-no, almost no-no. Also, there was a combined no-hitter for the Twins on this side. They're on the other end of the spectrum. It was rookie Joe Ryan pitched 6 innings of no-hit ball with 106 pitches, and reliever Giovanni Moran came in. There was 1 out in the 9th versus the Royals, and KC was able to get the hit. So there you go. There was another close no-no, close call. We also had Max Scherzer. He got pulled during his perfect game in his return from the injured list on September 19th. He got his 200th career win as a Met to clinch the playoff spot in the game. So, yeah, obviously, if he had been healthy, I'm sure they would have let him go. I think Scherzer was like the pitcher in the MLB who saw the lineup around the 3rd time the most. Because a lot of these pitchers will go a few innings and they'll go through the lineup twice, but very few are able to get through it a 3rd time and have the trust from their manager to go deep into games. But he's a veteran, and this guy's let him go, bro. But I would be mad if I got pulled and I was throwing a perfect game or no hit ball. But if you're coming off the injury list, that's definitely a different thing because you got to be a little bit more concerned, especially for the Mets because the Mets were at that time the number one team in the NL East, and they were looking to make the playoffs, but still did. But got to make sure you're healthy for the postseason, so that's important. I understand. I get that. Let's see. Shohei Ohtani, he came within 4 outs of a historic no-hitter on September the 29th versus the A's. So, if Ohtani would have been able to throw no, that would have been pretty legendary. But glad it didn't happen against Oakland. So, go A's. Go A's there. Let's see. Got some playoff teams here. Dodgers, they clinched playoff spot early. They were the first team to clinch on September 12th. They had to wait a day to celebrate. It was like a weird thing. There was like a counting error on MLB's part. So they just won the next day and then they celebrated again, I guess. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been so long. Let's see. They won their 9th NL West title in the last 10 seasons. It's crazy to think that the Giants last season were the only team to beat them in the last decade. Man, that is crazy. Dude, since Magic Johnson bought the team, this team has been a fucking force, man. So they've or Magic Johnson and who else was the freaking main owner? He's part of the ownership group. Who was it? Dodgers. Who the fuck? Castins? Dodgers owner? Who was it? No, Todd Bowley. That's right. Guggenheim Baseball Management umbrella. Yeah. Hold on. No. Who owns the Dodgers right now? No, I'm reading. Hold on. Confusing. It's confusing. There's a lot of people here. List of Dodgers owners and executives. Yeah, man, they've been fucking killing it. Yeah, Stan Kasten. I think Stan Kasten is like the majority owner, like the guy who has the most amount of shares in the team, I think. Yeah, 10 years, man. They've owned the team for 10 years. Who else is in here? Who's in this picture? Robert Patton, Stan Kasten, Mark Walter, Magic, Peter Guber. Oh yeah, I forgot Peter Guber. Freaking owner of the Warriors. Jesus Christ. Todd Bowley, the new owner of Chelsea FC. Dude, freaking money, bro. The freaking Dodgers are just rolling in it right now. So, yeah, they got the money to bankroll the team, and they've been steamrolling through the division, man. So, Giants, bro. That's what you got to do to compete, bro. You got to bring in that Aaron Judge, bring in some more pitching depth, and then let's go. Let's start rocking again. Let Doval do his thing. Get Logan Webb going. Got some pieces. We'll see. It's going to be tough. It's tough, man. What, 9 division championships? 1 ring? Was it just 1? 1 ring? I think they what? 3 World Series appearances? 4? 3? 3, 4? 3, 4? Yeah, they've been there. They've been a force, though. Who else is clinching? Astros. They beat the Rays on the 19th. They got an AL West division in back-to-back seasons under Dusty Baker. They got home field advantage throughout the ALCS. Yanks got the number 2 seed. For Houston, this is the 4th time of winning 100-plus games in the season in the last 6 years. So, I mean, they've been holding it down on the AL side. The Dodgers have been doing it on the NL side the last few seasons. So, they've been problems, man. They've been problems. Speaking of problems, the defending champs, the Atlanta Braves, they clinched the 5th straight postseason berth on September the 20th. And they clinched their 5th straight NL East title 2 weeks later on October 4th. Dude, they were 10.5 games back at the start of June, and they were 7 games back on August 10th. So this team went on a heater. They went on a hot streak. And they were able to catch the Mets, man. The freaking New York Mets roller coaster ride of a season has got their fan base kind of on edge as they made the playoffs. They still got to play in the wild card rounds. They'll be playing the Padres. But, yeah, considering where they were and how big of a lead they had in the division, it's like pretty disappointing that they are even in that situation. But I mean, if you're a Mets fan, you got to be happy the team in the playoffs, though, man, because it's been a while. It's been a while for you guys. It's been a few seasons. So once you get into the tournament, you never know, and catch a hot streak and then get it going. All right, who else clinched? Cleveland Guardians. They got their first AL title since 2018. Yankees got the AL East for the 20th time in franchise history. Cardinals win the NL Central for the 5th time in 10 years. And Blue Jays got a wild card spot. Mariners got a first postseason berth since 2001 with a pinch hit walk-off home run from Cal Raleigh on September the 30th. So that was a pretty momentous occasion for Mariners fans. They have not been able to taste the postseason since 01. What is that? 21 years. So fortunate distinction now belongs to my favorite basketball team, the Sacramento Kings, as a team that has not made the playoffs in the longest amount of time. Like I said earlier, they haven't made the team. The team has not made the playoffs since I was in 8th grade, bro. That is a long-ass time. That is a long-ass time. We're going on like 16, 17 years. So 05, 06, 06. Damn, man. There are people in high school now that weren't even born the last time the Kings made the playoffs. Think about that, man. Think about it, man. That's crazy. All right, who else? We got the Tampa Bay Rays. They got a wild card spot. Padres got a wild card spot. Phillies got their first postseason berth since 2011. And that's the whole playoff field there for the NL. A couple other moments that happened this year. Dusty Baker, he joined an exclusive club as one of 4 managers to lead teams in both leagues to 100-plus wins. So I was able to do it in the NL, now doing it in the AL. He joins Sparky Anderson, Whitey Herzog, and Tony La Russa. Those are some Hall of Famers. And looks like Dusty's probably going to join them. Right now, he does not have a World Series championship yet. Got a chance this season again. Not saying I'm rooting for it, but I really enjoyed when he managed the Giants back in the day. That shit was fun. It was a fun team. A lot of drama, a lot of craziness, a lot of the probably extra testosterone flowing. That the T was running heavy back in 01 and 02. So yeah, Dusty getting it done. The Rays made MLB history with an all-Latin lineup on the Roberto Clemente Day. That is on September the 15th. If you do not know, which was pretty cool, pretty dope. All Latino lineup from pitcher, catcher, everybody, whole infield and whole outfield. DH as well too. So that's just I'm pretty sure other teams could have done that in the past, but I think they just went out of their way. It's just like it's a couple positions. Sometimes you'd be like, all right, maybe not. But yeah, like at least traditionally in the past sometimes. But I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows from me this episode. You gotta be confident what the fuck you're saying. It's just late and I'm just talking my shit. All right, we'll finish with these baseball news and then we'll get into some other shit next week. We'll save the heavy shit. We'll save the heavy world news for next week, man. I'm gonna have some guests on the podcast coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. This Saturday, tune in. What up, man? Lights? How we doing, son? Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, baseball season, postseason's underway there. We doing it. Let's see here. What's the schedule looking like? What is the schedule looking like? Like I said, what was it? Padres are playing the Mets. I think that leaves, what is it? The other 2 wildcard teams was St. Louis and Philly. They're going to be playing each other. And then the 2 teams that have the bye are the Dodgers and who am I blanking on? Who am I blanking? And the Braves in Atlanta. So yeah. That's it. And then on the AL side, we got Tampa Bay and Cleveland. Cleveland, this is for you. Toronto, Seattle. And the two teams with the byes are the Astros and the Yankees. So there we are. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. Best of luck to your teams if you're in there. All right. Well, we got some. Let's see. I'll end it just some contract news here. Let's see here. A couple guys got paid. Speaking of the Mariners, we're talking about them breaking their playoff streak. Julio Rodriguez, he might be their new good luck charm. He's their young up and coming superstar. He got a long-term extension worth $210 million guaranteed over 12 seasons, which the last two, there's 2 more years that are club options. So he could have a 14-year contract with the team. That's fucking ridiculous. He could make over $400 million over the life of that contract if he hits incentives, and he will have a no-trade clause. So it looks like he's going to be up there in Seattle. I was almost going to call Petco. What is that shit called? Oh, no, Petco's in fucking San Diego. T-Mobile was Safeco. It used to be Safeco. T-Mobile Stadium, whatever. He's going to be up in Seattle. He's going to be up in Washington for a minute. They also locked up the pitcher that they traded for at the trade deadline, Luis Castillo. Signed a 5-year extension worth $108 million. Player and club options in 2028. And he's got a no-trade clause for the first 3 years. So a couple of players that will be sticking around on that team for a minute. Let's see. Shohei Ohtani, he got a 1-year extension. He's going to avoid arbitration, so they don't have to go to court about this, but he's going to be making $30 million for 2023. And after the season, he will be a free agent, so either the Angels might move on from him because the team is now up for sale, or maybe they sign him to a long-term deal. We saw the Washington Nationals give up on Juan Soto because he couldn't come to an agreement on an extension, and the team also was going to be up for sale too. So it's like, will that happen again? I don't know. I do not know. But that's something to monitor because Shohei, I mean, that's like more than once in a generation. That's a once in a century kind of talent kind of dude. Japanese Babe Ruth, bro. The numbers he put up this year, as we mentioned earlier, crazy. Let's see here. Giants signed Wilmer Flores to a 2-year, $13 million extension, 3rd-year player option. One guy who's not going to be on the team, Zach Littell, I think. His pitcher got demoted last month after he had a mound exchange with the manager. He was like, "Man, what the hell are you taking me out for? What the fuck?" He started talking shit on the mouth as before he left the game. Like, if you got words to say, do it in the dugout, man, and not with the cameras on you all the time. So he had that. He said that shit, and Cade was just like, "I'll talk to you in the dugout, or I'll talk to you in the locker room." And so they went back, and then said some words, and they were pretty heated. And then the next day, that guy was gone. So he got cut from the team, and he's no longer. So don't mess with the king. Don't mess with the boss, man. Don't mess with the guy who controls your destiny there, man. Come on. Speaking of guys getting released, the Oakland Athletics released shortstop Elvis Andrus in the following year of his $120 million deal. He's slated to earn $17 million for this season. Another A's player, their catcher, Stephen Vogt, he announced midway through the season that he was retiring after 10 years in the big leagues. He did have his last game of his career yesterday, 2 days ago, on Tuesday, and it turns out he to start his career, he hit a home run in his first at-bat. In his last at-bat of his career, he also hits a home run. he got announced by his kids too, and it was a big touching moment there. So Stephen Vogt, he's a gamer, man. He's the veteran, and that dude who was just always out there working. He's had years that he was an all-star. He had years that he was struggling, barely making an MLB roster, bounced around a bit. I know he was on the Diamondbacks. I think Pittsburgh also as well, besides the Athletics. But yeah, that was he's always a fan favorite. A's are always keen to bring in those guys back, even if they let him go before. So like that was cool to see him there, finish his career there in Oakland, even if hardly anybody showed up to the games to see him there. Speaking of no fans in the stadium, man, I don't know if you guys saw this news a couple weeks ago, but yeah, there was some fans who got caught giving and receiving a blowjob at the Oakland Coliseum during a game. It was up in like the upper section, and shit went viral on the web. The Bay Area memes pages were blowing up with that shit. Dude, just like a couple days later, there was a video that I saw of some dude who posted on his like stories or his Snapchat or something or TikTok or some shit where he was snuck into one of the press boxes or into the private box, not the press box, that would have been crazy, but he snuck into one of the private boxes, the VIP suites, and was just chilling in there, had a backwood on him, and you see him light the backwood in the video, sit there, smoke the backwood. Cut to, he's got a roach of the blackwood. If you've ever smoked the backwood, you know that motherfucker was in there for like 30 minutes at least, like 20, 30 minutes. The dude was out there sitting there chiefing, man. I'm like, damn, bro, like, can we buy tickets so you could do that shit? Can you just fucking roll up a wood and just like burn it down out in the outfield? Freaking private box, eat some nachos and hot dogs and shit like that. Get you some beer on tap or something. That'd be dope. I pay extra to do that shit. I mean, they already have like most of the outdoor venues. Or back in the day, I'd say maybe less so nowadays. But they used to have little sections where you can go and smoke and stuff like that. I think they had that at the LA Coliseum. So like, just make that weed smoking section too, man. Come on, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Come on. It's been legalized here. Let's do that shit. But yeah. People going wild in the stands. There was another situation, I think in Toronto, where somebody was getting domed up out in the bleachers in the upper deck. So fans are acting wild, man. Acting wild. All right, some other news, MLB. Looks like there's going to be some changes for the 2023 season. There's going to be a pitch clock that's going to happen. Shifts are going to be banned. You got to have 2 players in the infield on each side of the field. So that's going to be a change. I think they're going to make the bases a little bit bigger on the base pass. I think they say that they're going to it's going to encourage people to steal the bases more. So like, we'll see people to run on the pitchers. So yeah, that's all coming next year. So if you've already tripping out over the fact that there's a DH in the NL, I mean, there's more changes coming, man. So be ready. Let's see, the minor league baseball players form a union 17 days after the organization, the MLB Players Association, or Minor League Players Association, I guess. Yeah, it looks like they're going to represent 5,500 different players. And looks like they're going to try to negotiate for better pay and better conditions, traveling, all that stuff, per diem to eat and all that stuff. So, yeah, I know prior they had approved some raises. So I think the MLB, they knew, all right, let's get ahead of this a little bit and let's make sure that we cover our chops a bit there. So, yeah. Unions forming there for minor leaguers. We'll see. It looks like they'll be led by the MLB Players Association, so they'll all be kind of under one big umbrella there. Let's see here. We got some news in the managerial ranks, and in the front office. Let's see. LA Angels, looks like they agreed to a 1-year deal with their manager Phil Nevin to return. He took over as an interim manager in the middle of the season when Joe Madden was released, they had a really bad cold streak. I want to say in June, a while back. So kind of tanked their season. They were kind of floating around 500 as a playoff team, and then not so much. Speaking of teams that disappointed this year, Chicago White Sox manager Tony La Russa announced that he will not return this season because he had some health issues. And then just recently he announced that he is going to be stepping down permanently. He had a pacemaker installed, and apparently there were some complications with the device. So I think he had I'm not sure if he had surgery or not, but he stepped away from the game. The man is old as hell, so not super surprising. It was more surprising he got hired to manage the team a couple seasons ago than it was that he ended up having to leave, because he had cultural issues that was going on too with him and the players too. So he was a little too old school for some of them, and not everybody saw eye to eye. So that should definitely happen. Speaking of managers leaving organizations, the Miami Marlins and Don Mattingly have agreed that they will be parting ways after the season. So Don Mattingly, former manager of the Yankees. So we'll see if he decides to continue managing or if he'll end up somewhere else or just call it quits there. Man's done a lot. He's had a long career. Let's see here. Tigers hire ex-Giants GM Scott Harris, going to be the president of basketball operations. Took over for Al Avila, who was fired in August. Speaking of being fired, the Rangers fired president of baseball operations John Daniels. General manager Chris Young is going to take over in that role immediately. Royals, they fire their president of baseball operations Dayton Moore. As I mentioned earlier, Artie Moreno, owner of the LA Angels, he's now exploring possibility of selling his team. So yeah, if you're a billionaire out there and wants to buy a franchise all the way out in Anaheim that's located between a bunch of freeways and a parking lot, then yeah, the Angels might be for you. They got some phenomenal talented superstars and not much else besides that. They got a team that's willing to get into brawls this season though. Saw that happen. That happened a couple times. They got into it. Dust ups. Speaking of ownership, former San Francisco Giants legend Buster Posey says he would love to be a part of that team's ownership group in the future. Is that a legit possibility? I don't know. Is he willing to take a percentage of a percentage of a percentage of a percentage? A percentage? You can do the Jay-Z route, maybe. Pretty sure that would be open and available. Let's see here. Off-season or okay. Last couple of things. World Baseball Classic's happening. It's coming up soon. I want to say 2023, early next year. It's happening. Team USA. We've been talking about all the superstars that they're gonna have. Well, it looks like they announced that Mark DeRosa is going to be the manager for the team. Former MLB journeyman. Former San Francisco Giant. He's going to have Ken Griffey Jr., Andy Pettitte as part of the coaching staff. Couple other players that joined the team, Mookie Betts and Tim Anderson. So there you are. I know JT Realmuto is going to be on the team, Mike Trout. Some other all-stars I'm missing. Bryce Harper. So Team USA, they might be pretty loaded, might be pretty stacked. They're trying to defend their belt. So we'll see what happens there next year. Speaking of next season, the San Diego Padres and the San Francisco Giants are going to play a series in Mexico City next season on April 29th and 30th. That'd be a fun game to go to. I wonder how the elevation is going to affect them. There might be a lot of home runs hit. I don't know exactly the dimensions of the ballpark there in the DF, but I'm going to apparently learn about that next year, so we'll find out. That'd be a cool one to go to. See, dude, that'd be sick. I don't know. Are they still playing games in April? Yeah, I think that they might. Dude, you see a Liga MX match there at Azteca, and then go see baseball game over there. Dude, that'd be sick. That'd be sick. Let's see what else happening. Bartolo Colon, he's retiring after Winners League this year in the Dominican. He's aged 49 years old, so he's finally hanging up the cleats for good and retiring. I know he hasn't been on the major league roster in a few seasons, but I know he was still pitching, trying to see if teams were calling. But 49 years old, dude almost made it to 50 years old playing a game of baseball. So yeah, dude's a legend in his own right. The dude, King Toad, shout out, shout out Bartolo. Let's see here. Dodgers icon Maury Wills, first to steal 100 bases in the modern era. He passed away at the age of 89 on September the 19th. And lastly, Mickey Mantle card produced in 1952 sells for a record-shattering $12.6 million last month. That's insane. Inflation's going up, folks. Inflation's going up. There's a lot of craziness happening. I ain't got much else to say. Follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be doing some more comedy shows upcoming. I posted some dates on there already. I'll be posting some more information. I got a few more flyers to share coming soon. Trying to make some more clips, more comedy clips. Check out my Instagram. Show me some love if you can. A couple of my clips, man, has just been blowing up. Semi-blowing up. I just keep getting like a couple likes here and there. Boom, boom, boom. And the views keep chopping up. I got this cholo joke that's been kind of in the mix recently. Some of the podcast clips as well. Follow us at the Puro Caballero Show. I posted an older one that had AJ Santos when he was here on the couch chopping it up with us. And that one's been getting back in the rotation. So that's been pretty cool to see that happen. But yeah, shout out to everybody who's been a part of the show. And yeah, we'll be having a guest here on Saturday. So if you're tuning in and you're listening, we'll be going live Saturday. We'll probably be posting the recording a day or two later after that. I will not ruin the surprise and tell you exactly who it is, but I'm excited. I think we'll have a fun time. So yeah, so come by, tune in. We'll be getting that done probably in the middle of the day there. But yeah, it's late now. It is. We've passed midnight on the West Coast here. It is now Friday morning. So I gotta go. But this has been episode number 119 of the Puro Caballero Show. Deuces later. Y'all been cool. Peace.